The highway was almost empty when my car suddenly lost control. Rain hammered against the windshield, the tires slipped, and within seconds everything turned into a blur of headlights, metal and shattered glass. When I opened my eyes, I was trapped inside the wreckage, unable to move my left arm. My first thought wasn't about the pain. It was about my 6-month-old daughter, Emma. She was safely strapped into her car seat, crying but unharmed. A stranger stopped and pulled her from the vehicle before the emergency crews arrived. As the paramedics rushed me toward the ambulance, I begged them to call my parents. "Please tell them I need them," I whispered. "Tell them Emma needs someone." At the hospital, doctors discovered that I had several broken ribs, a fractured arm, and internal injuries. They told me I would need surgery and might remain hospitalized for days. Through the pain medication, I kept asking whether my parents had called. Finally, a nurse handed me the phone. My mother answered after several rings. "Mom," I said. Struggling to speak, "I was in a serious accident. I'm at the hospital. Emma is okay, but I need you and Dad to watch her while I recover." There was silence, then my father's voice came through the speaker. "We can't do that right now. He said we already have plans." I thought I had misunderstood, that I was in a highway crash. "I may need surgery. I don't have anyone else." My mother sighed. "We're busy this week. We can't suddenly become babysitters." I stared at the hospital ceiling, unable to believe what I was hearing. "She's your granddaughter," I said quietly. "And she's your responsibility." My father replied, "You decided to become a parent." The call ended for several minutes. I didn't cry, I simply stared at the phone. Feeling colder than I had during the accident, my body was broken, but the words from my parents hurt more than any injury. A social worker helped arrange temporary care for Emma. I hated being separated from her, but I had no choice that night after my surgery. I lay awake in the hospital room listening to the machines around me. I kept wondering how my own parents could refuse to help when I needed them most then. Close to midnight, the door opened. I expected a nurse instead. My grandmother walked in. She was 78 years old and used a cane. Her silver hair was tied neatly behind her head, and she carried a small overnight bag. "Grandma," I whispered. She walked slowly toward my bed and held my hand. "I heard what happened," she said. Tears filled my eyes. "Mom and Dad said they were too busy." "I know," she replied. "They told me." I looked down, ashamed that she had traveled so far at her age. "You shouldn't be here," I said. "You need to rest," she smiled gently. "When your mother was young, I stayed awake for 3 nights. When she had pneumonia, when your father lost his job, I helped them pay their bills. Family doesn't disappear when life becomes inconvenient." Then she placed a photo on my bedside table. It was Emma sleeping peacefully. "She's with me," Grandma said. "I brought her home. I'll take care of her until you're better." I broke down the next morning. My parents arrived unexpectedly. They brought flowers and acted as if nothing had happened. My father said they had reconsidered and offered to take Emma. Grandma stood beside my bed and looked directly at them. "No," she said calmly. "You made your decision when she needed you. Now, let her recover without worrying about who will protect her child." My parents had no answer during the next 2 weeks. Grandma cared for Emma every day. She sent me pictures, brought Emma to visit, and reminded me that love is not proven through promises. It is proven through actions. When I finally returned home, I understood something painful but important. Being related to someone does not guarantee that they will stand beside you. My parents had chosen convenience. My grandmother had chosen family, and as I held Emma in my arms, I promised myself that my daughter would never have to question whether I would be there for her, because the night my parents refused to help, Grandma walked into my hospital room and showed me what real family truly means.